What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Motorworks Garage production. This is the Motorworks Garage. We have a little garage here. We like to work on a whole bunch of just stuff, and we like to pack this thing full with junk. So we just finished up on a 2005 YZ250F. Today we got to start welding up this welding cart. This was an old welding cart, that I had at my parents' house. I needed a welding cart to put my dad's welder and stuff on because I was kind of just dragging it around, just like I am now with this. I've got the shielding gas tank just sitting off the side. The welders over here, they're not connected, and it just makes it really inconvenient to be able to take it and weld in different places or whatever I need to in the garage. So this is the metal that I started with before when I was at my parents', but as you can see, all the welds are pretty crappy because there was a whole bunch of porosity in them. I couldn't really figure out why, and I come to find out when I took it into a shop, there was a bad seal internally in the welder that was like letting all the gas leak out. So I have no clue. I've never actually torn into a welder before. But yeah, they are pretty terrible. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut all these off. I'm going to clean them. And hopefully on this like top one right here, I did 45-degree cuts. And then on the bottom ones, I just welded them straight to it. And I don't like how I did that. So hopefully the dimensions are right because I did make this to fit a Miller-Matic 135. But this is a Lincoln Electric 140. So obviously they're pretty much both the same size and same thing for a welder. So this should fit on the top. The base on the bottom that I'm going to make should be able to still fit the basic arc welder from Lincoln Electric that I want to get if I cut these down and make them into 45-degree angles. And then I also made it long enough to put the shielding gas on the back of it as well. And then I made it wide enough as well just to be able to fit the arc welder here and be able to have two tanks in the back. So if I want to do my 75-25 for my MIG welder, then I want to have 100% argon for a TIG welder once I get that. But if we do that, we're going to have to make some arrangements because right now I just pretty much got it so the MIG and arc welder will be able to fit on it. But that is going to be down the road. Right now we just have this MIG welder and we're going to be starting on this. So if we can reuse this material, I want to because it is still good metal and I did already cut it. But if I can't, I do have other metal that I can use. So other than that, we're going to get to cutting this stuff down, cleaning it, and getting to building this welding cart. So stay tuned, and hopefully a nice little welding cart comes out at the end. All right, so all I'm doing is cutting them all at 45. So right now this will be my bottom frame for my arc welder, and then these over here, we're gonna be my arms going up to make the second shelf for my MIG welder. And I'm just gonna have two levels to it, the bottom and the top for my arc and MIG. But I'm actually going to weld on a piece longer on top of these since I have the same metal, the same size and metal over there for the, I think this is 1 inch by 1/8 inch. So I'm gonna weld them up a little bit taller so I can put an extra shelf in there if I wanna put like my ground clamp or put a grinder on there, put some more magnets or whatever on there. So yeah, I'm gonna start cutting the rest of these at 45s. It's nothing special, I'm not gonna really record it. And once they all get to 45s, I'm gonna tack them all up and hopefully everything's straight. And I should probably measure everything before I start cutting everything down. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure everything's straight and get everything squared up and then start welding my sticks up and making my top frame for my MIG welder. All right, this corner over here is way better. And it's the fitment is a lot easier to weld on. So I'm gonna turn on the welder, tack this side up, and we're gonna go around all 4 corners here and do that. There she be. And then this bottom frame for the arc welder will be good to go. All right, everything's tacked. Let's burn everything in. This thing is sweet. It's actually not unlevel at all, so. Well, we ran out of wire, so I gotta go get some new wire, but we've got pretty much all this welded into place, and that's what it's going to look like. I grinded one corner down to show you. There still is just a little bit of hump, so I'm going to grind it down just a little bit more, but yeah, it looks pretty good. So there's the corner of it. That one's kind of crappy for that corner because of my other weld over here, but everything else looks pretty good. My humongous gap is welding in really nicely, actually, so. Alright, grinding is done on all the corners all the way around. We've got our 3 shelves right here. And now we have to, because since it's going to be about 50 inches tall, this piece of metal that we're going to be using here is, I think, like 47 inches tall. So all I'm going to do is take the extra cut off right here. Since we're going to have 2 main ones, I'm just going to cut off 3 inches and 3 inches and use that and just weld it onto the top. I'm going to clean all this up, and so I can extend it to 50 inches, and then we're going to start tacking all of our shelves together. So hopefully by the end of this video we will have our frame kind of welded up. So let's get to it. Alright, so I got this little picture drawn out here. It's just some whole bunch of scribbles here, but we've got it's going to be our 3 different shelves. So we have going to have our arc welder, our MIG welder, and our TIG welder, and then on the sides, we're going to have all of our accessories and stuff to hold all of our hoses and everything like that. But we're going to have 1 inch for that shelf, 1 inch for that shelf, 1 inch for that shelf. I got to measure 28 inches for the arc welder, 16 inches for the MIG welder, and the TIG welder is just going to sit there. So let's get to it. Alrighty guys, well, I'm sorry for the sudden stop, but my GoPro actually died and I didn't even realize it, and I kept going, and then I turned around and it was completely off. But here we are. This is pretty much how it's going to look. You're going to have our TIG welder at the top, you're going to have the MIG welder on the second row, and then you're going to have the arc welder down at the bottom, and then this back section is going to be for the 2 cylinders of gas to go on and hold. So we're going to get a platform going. It looks pretty good right now. This is just going to be the frame of it. We're going to have some supports and stuff running up. We're going to figure out something for the supports. But other than that, this is how it's going to be. If you guys can tell, the top shelf right here is kind of leaning forward just a little bit. It's not exactly level, so I just got to kind of tweak it. Hopefully the tacks aren't as strong. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be it for the first video, because I don't really know how much I recorded, and I know I kind of got a lot. So I'm going to cut it off here. Next video, we're going to be doing some supports. We're going to be hopefully welding everything in and getting everything perfect, and then we can put on our platforms for every shelf, and then we're going to start building the, probably in another video, we're probably going to start building the actual platform for the back for the cylinders to stand on. So other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning into this video of Motorworks Garage here. The garage is actually, coming together now. Finally, we're starting to do a whole bunch of different stuff. Just stay tuned. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff coming for the garage. We got a whole bunch of different builds coming. But other than that, guys, I appreciate it. And yeah, the support, I don't have a lot of followers right now. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I mean, it's just a slow, and steady process. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to a bigger shop, later on. We'll get to, bigger things to build. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys' help. If you guys have any questions, throw a comment down below. Definitely like the video. Give me a subscribe. And other than that, guys, I will see you at the next video. Catch you later.